Kakuzi wholly owns the beef production process or system from birth to slaughter. That ensures that we control and ensure that quality is maintained. Currently, we are at 4,500 head of cattle. Our stocking density is 1:1. And by saying we have 4,500, we have nearly 5,000 hectares under livestock. We run what we call a cow-calf herd. Cows give birth to calves. We take care of those calves until slaughter. 99% of our breed is Boran, and why we keep Boran is because they have very good adaptability. They can utilize whatever pasture available effectively. We have two grazing patterns. One, we have what we call continuous open grazing, where animals just graze without any restriction. We also do rotational grazing, where we have paddocks. And that is important because it helps us to prioritize grazing. Animals have different types of energy requirements. A breeding cow, a bull, a young calf have different types of energy requirements. And so by paddocking, it helps us to prioritize which animal requires more energy now at this particular time of the year, so we try and give them the best. Rotational grazing also helps us to improve pasture because we graze it down, we put a lot of manure on pasture so it fertilizes the land and new species of grass will come up. We have two types of herds. We have what we call a breeding herd and what we call a commercial herd. Our commercial herd is the source of our beef. A breeding herd is what other people otherwise call stud herd. And that is our main breeding herd. And so it's essential that that herd is in its best health. And so once we get the bulls from the stud herd, we bring them to the commercial herd. They multiply our commercial herd, and that is where we get our source of beef. Once we do breeding, of course, the animal conceive, get pregnant, and we take care of that animal as it is pregnant so that it will give us a healthy calf at the end of the day. Immediately after birth, that calf is given a unique ID number, and that is unique. So we want to bring that calf in a very stress-free environment, free of ticks, free of worms, and free of diseases. And so what we do is we put measures in place. Personnel that we have around are personnel that are qualified to institute any treatment measure to those animals that we raise. There are vaccinations, routine vaccinations that happen, and those are documented. And so we can be able to follow that animal from birth to slaughter. And once that calf is weaned, or once we remove that calf from the mother, there are production systems that we put in place, ensure that they get the right pasture, ensure that we prioritize their pastures until when they have coped with the stress. After that, what will happen then is the normal routine procedures, and all our animals are exclusively grazed. The only thing that we do is mineral licks. That is what we give for provision of the essential trace elements. But as far as feeding our animals is concerned, we graze. And so the balanced ecosystem created by livestock ensures that there is a conducive environment, there is a good environment, there is a sustainable environment that will ensure that this environment will still support life tomorrow. After that, we separate them. We separate the females from the males. The females, either they go back to breeding or they go to fattening. All the males that results from the commercial herd are all for beef. And so when it gets to the final stage, when you need to convert that animal into beef, we follow the customer requirement. When a customer says that I want prime beef, we go and select the prime beef from the field, we bring them to the slaughterhouse. And before we slaughter, we do what we call antemortem inspection. Once we do the antemortem inspection, that removes any doubt that this animal is sick. Maybe it has a blemish on the skin, maybe it has swollen lymph nodes. We remove that. We take it to the slaughterhouse. After we've slaughtered, it is inspected, what we call post-mortem inspection. And that is done by a certified, an appointed authority by the government. That ensures that we meet the Meat Control Act standards. So once that is done, then we also have procedures that we follow in our own slaughterhouse, where we know at this point, this food might get contaminated. So we try to exclude the hazards at those critical points to ensure that at the end of it all, this food is safe. The meat that we produce in Kakuzi, one main customer is choice meats. We also supply to our butchery by the roadsides. We also produce genetics. Farmers around in organized ranches and individual farmers also want to utilize our genetics. And so we produce bulls and we sell to the general public to go and improve their herds.